Hi folks, I'm Phil Newton, developer of Trading Strategies, which provides real-time training and education. This video shows some highlights from my live training sessions.
Hi folks, welcome back. This video is basically just a shortened version of something we were talking about in the live trading room, and essentially it's just tying in simple price action reading with history repeating itself. Again, not trying to worry about what the name of something is, whether it's a classical textbook pattern, but very simply just looking for history to repeat itself. So what I'm looking at on the chart right now, again, we've got the live chart right now. Just looking simply for history to repeat itself. So is what's developing right now similar to any point on the chart? Well, it's Monday, so here's the opening level at Monday. Last Friday's high there, and bit of a sell-off. So that's what's developing right now. So the vertical lines here, I've just got previous Mondays just marked off there. So there's last Monday's open there. The previous Friday's high breached, and then we've got sell-off here. So this is what we can see happening right now. And again, going back to the previous weeks, the last 3 weeks, we've seen the same Monday pattern develop. So there's the previous week's open, there's the Friday's high breached, a little bit rough around the edges, but nevertheless, that sell-off that we can see there. So essentially we have history repeating itself on the chart. Just zoom in a little bit to the last 2 weeks. So we've got history repeating itself, a breach of the previous Friday's high, then a sell-off. Breach the previous Friday's high, then a sell-off. So history so far is repeating itself. Now what can we essentially anticipate to happen next? Well, there was two scenarios, and as I'm talking we can see one of the second scenarios that we discussed in the live room unfolding, but essentially just to quickly recap, this bar here was just a little bit of a pause. So we were looking also at a little bit of a pause there on the next bar's development. So we've seen a 60-minute pause. Now, because we've got around about 60-65% of an average day's move developing already so far today, a second scenario would be that we could see the start of the consolidation, or a consolidation, going in to basically the rest of the day. We've got a US national holiday today, so in around about 4 or 5 hours time, basically the US traders would typically come into the markets. They're not going to be doing that today, so we could quite easily see that consolidation. Now, to be fair, that's likely scenario, the consolidation for the rest of the day, that's quite clearly not going to happen right now, and we've got this pause and continuation quite clearly going on. So a little bit of hindsight there, just coming into the fray, but this is what we discussed in real time in the live room. So other factors to consider, basically we've got price starting that move at 9 o'clock. Actually the move started around 10 o'clock. So we've got 10 o'clock, the move ended around 5 o'clock. So we've got 7 hours of movement. So could we anticipate or expect a similar type of length, or a similar length of time for a movement? So far this has developed, or this move started at 8 o'clock UK hours this morning. It's now coming just past 11 o'clock. So is there possibly another 4 hours of movement to expect? Just very simply, if history repeats itself, but this time I'm just looking at history repeating itself, but in just a little bit more detail. So we've got Friday's high breached, sell-off. Friday's high breached, sell-off. And the previous week as well, Friday's high breached and a sell-off. This one's a little bit rougher around the edges, and so far the pattern that is repeating itself, history is repeating itself. Today, very similar, almost identical to last Monday. So coming down to the majority, or into the realms of the majority of an average day's move. Now, what can we expect? Now, after that pause last Monday, we saw the next hour, the main next move down. So for at the very least, I would expect the next hour to potentially put in that average day's move. We saw quite a significant move last Monday after that brief pause. We're looking at right now this next movement potentially being quite significant, and that could quite easily take me down to an average day's move down at 153.20 location. Then consolidation. That's the way I'm expecting price to unfold right now. Currently short trades are on from 54.15 as discussed in the live trading room, and this is how I expect that basically the day to unfold. Next hour should see me down to an average day's move, then consolidation for the rest of the day. We've also got to factor in the typical lunchtime period. The next hour's movement is taken to 12 o'clock UK hours. I wouldn't expect for the next couple of hours anyway, because of that typically quiet lunchtime period. That ties in quite nicely. Then we're into the afternoon session. Typically the US traders would be coming into effect. Again, they're not going to be doing that, so the next likely scenario is movement down to average day's move for the next hour, or over the next hour, then consolidation for the rest of the day, assuming that history repeats itself and we see the same things happen today as what we've seen last Monday and the Monday before. That's it. Simple price action reading, this time looking for history to repeat itself, not trying to worry about the name of a pattern, the label of something. Very simply, is there a point on the chart that looks similar to what's unfolding right now? Yes, there is. If history repeats itself, that's what's going to happen next.